I stir the pasta sauce with one hand while checking the clock 6:15 p.m. Mom needs to sleep at least another hour before her night shift. The small kitchen in our Colorado home feels too quiet, just the occasional bubble from the pot breaking the silence. I turn the burner down and wipe my hands on the faded yellow dish towel. A calendar hangs on the refrigerator door, its corners curling inward after months of use. My eyes catch on tomorrow's date, circled in red marker. Roosevelt High Talent Show. My stomach twists into a familiar knot. I glance through the doorway toward Mom's bedroom. The door stands slightly ajar, just enough for me to see her still form under a pile of blankets. Dark circles had rimmed her eyes when she trudged in this morning after her shift at Memorial Hospital. Her nurse's shoes dropped by the front door where they'll wait until she slips them on again tonight. Just a few more minutes, I whisper to the pasta, giving it a gentle stir. Something about cooking dinner while everyone else is absent makes me feel useful, necessary. The front door crashes open. I jump, nearly dropping the wooden spoon. Mom's sleeping, I say quickly as Chloe barrels in with 3 friends trailing behind her. My sister rolls her eyes. Like anyone cares what you think, Maddie. Her friends snicker. They crowd around our small kitchen table, backpacks dropping heavily to the floor. Chloe flicks her perfectly straightened hair over her shoulder and pulls out her phone. The others huddle around her, heads bent together. Can you at least be quiet? I ask. Mom worked all night. Chloe doesn't even look up. Whatever. Hushed laughter ripples among them. I notice how they glance between the phone screen and me, then back again. Something cold slides down my spine. What's so funny? The words come out smaller than I intended. Nothing you'd understand, Chloe says, but her friend Amber can't contain herself and bursts into a louder laugh. I step closer, just enough to catch a glimpse of the screen. My breath catches in my throat. It's a cartoon chicken with my face awkwardly photoshopped onto it. The chicken wears what looks like my favorite green sweater, the one with the little hole in the sleeve I keep meaning to fix. I back away, my face burning. This isn't new. Not really. Last year, I tried out for the school play. I practiced my lines for weeks, whispering them to myself in our shared bedroom when Chloe wasn't around. On audition day, someone had written "Mute Maddie" on my script when I wasn't looking. I froze on stage, forgot everything. Under my mattress, hidden where no one will find it, lies my music notebook, lyrics and melodies I've written when the house is empty. Songs I sing in whispers when I'm alone, the only time my voice feels like it belongs to me. Since Dad left 2 years ago, taking his weekend pancake breakfasts and guitar lessons with him, everything changed. Mom works double shifts. Chloe became someone I don't recognize. And I became invisible except when I'm convenient to mock. I turn back to the stove, pretending I haven't seen anything, but my hands shake as I drain the pasta. Later, while searching for the homework assignment Chloe borrowed, I find something else in her backpack. A folded program printed on bright blue paper. Roosevelt High Annual Talent Show. I shouldn't look. I should just... My fingers move without permission. A sick feeling spreads through me as I scan the list of performances. Third from the bottom, there it is. Maddie Cluck solo performance. Chicken dance. Next to it, a small cartoon chicken matching the one on Chloe's phone. My name deliberately misspelled. I didn't even sign up for the talent show. The room tilts slightly. My sister set me up. She entered my name as a joke, planning my public humiliation for the entire school to witness. What are you doing with my stuff? Chloe's voice cuts through my horror. I hold up the program with trembling fingers. You did this? She shrugs, dropping onto her bed. Maybe people will actually notice you for once. Why would you? My voice cracks. I swallow hard, refusing to cry in front of her. Why would you do this to me? It's just a joke, Maddie. Don't be so sensitive. She smirks, examining her nails. Besides, you're always hiding in corners singing to yourself. Now you get a chance to perform. I stand there, words stuck in my throat. The urge to scream, to throw something, to make her understand how much this hurts it all bubbles up inside me. But instead, I carefully fold the program and place it on her desk. I walk to the bathroom, lock the door, and slide down against it until I'm sitting on the cold tile floor. My reflection in the mirror shows a girl I barely recognize, pale and small. You are my sunshine, I hum quietly, the melody soft and broken. Mom used to sing it when I was little, when things were better, when we were whole. The humming grows stronger, steadier. My voice may be quiet, but I hear it. The next morning at school, I press my back against the cool metal of the lockers, heart racing as Chloe's voice drifts from around the corner. She doesn't know I'm here. We'll switch her to last, Chloe says, laughter bubbling through her words. Right after the final act when everyone's tired and ready to leave. A pause. I hold my breath. Of course Mrs. Dorsey approved it. I told her it was a surprise for Mom. Another laugh, sharper this time. Amber's going to record the whole thing. We'll post it tonight. My stomach twists. I slide down the wall until I'm crouching, knees pulled to my chest. Gotta go. Operation Chicken Dance is a go. Her footsteps fade down the hallway. I wait until I'm sure she's gone before standing on wobbly legs. The hallway stretches before me, suddenly too bright, too open. Everyone who passes seems to look at me differently. Do they know? How many people are in on this joke? During lunch, I find Mrs. Dorsey in the auditorium, clipboard in hand as she surveys the empty stage. Mrs. Dorsey? My voice comes out as a whisper. I clear my throat and try again. About the talent show lineup. She glances up, distracted. What is it, Madison? I'm very busy. I think there's been a mistake with my name on the program. She flips through her papers. Ah, yes, the special edition. Your sister mentioned you were too shy to sign up yourself, but that you'd been practicing. Very thoughtful of her. But I didn't. Cold feet are normal, dear. She pats my shoulder. You can't back out now. The programs are printed. But Chloe is a delight to work with on the Student Activities Committee. You could learn something from her confidence. She checks her watch. I need to run. Break a leg tomorrow. She walks away before I can explain, heels clicking against the polished floor. After school, I discover 3 yellow feathers taped to my locker. A note scrawled in unfamiliar handwriting reads, Bok Bok. Someone has drawn a crude chicken wearing my green sweater. I rip it down, hands shaking. 2 girls passing by snicker. Heat floods my face as I stuff the feathers and note into my backpack. That's messed up. I jump at the voice behind me. A boy with dark hair falling across one eye stands there, backpack slung over one shoulder. Lane Miller. He sits 2 rows behind me in English. We've spoken maybe 3 times all year. It's nothing, I mutter, fumbling with my combination. Doesn't look like nothing. He shifts his weight from one foot to another. I saw what they put on your locker yesterday, too. I freeze. There was something yesterday? He nods, eyes darting away from mine. Some kind of poster. I took it down before many people saw it. Why would you do that? Suspicion crawls up my spine. Is this another trap? Lane shrugs. Because it was cruel. I study his face for signs of mockery but find none. I know about the talent show thing, he says quietly. Chloe's friends were laughing about it in bio. My throat tightens. Everyone knows, don't they? Not everyone, he hesitates. Look, I'm on the tech crew tomorrow night. If you want to, I don't know, talk about it or something. I slam my locker shut. Thanks, but I don't need help. His face falls slightly. Right. Sorry. He takes a step back. Just thought, since I'm running the lights and sound. I stop. You're on tech crew? He nods. Stage manager put me on spotlight duty. Something shifts inside me, a tiny spark where moments ago there was only dread. After Lane leaves, I find myself walking to the empty music room. The piano sits in silent invitation. I set my backpack down and slide onto the bench. My fingers hover over the keys. Mom's voice echoes in my memory, singing, You Are My Sunshine on those nights after Dad left, when everything felt broken. Her voice, steady despite everything, had been my anchor. I play the first note softly, then again, stronger. If they want to humiliate me, they'll have to do it while I'm standing tall. I place the mocking chicken program on top of the piano, a reminder of what I'm facing. But instead of breaking me, it hardens something in my core. The next day, I find Lane by the light booth after final period. If I wanted to perform, I say without preamble, but not when they expect me to. Could you help? His eyes widen, then a slow smile spreads across his face. Absolutely. We develop a simple plan. I'll perform after the scheduled final act, but before Chloe's planned humiliation, Lane will have a single spotlight ready. They'll try to stop you, he warns. Let them try. My voice sounds stronger than I feel. During free period, I slip into the empty auditorium. In whispers that gradually grow bolder, I practice my song. Each run-through builds something new inside Minot. Confidence exactly, but determination. The day of the show arrives with a crushing weight of anxiety. As I stand at my locker, Chloe's friends surround me with fake smiles. We brought you something for your big performance, Amber says, holding out a plastic cup. Before I can respond, she trips, spilling dark liquid all over my carefully chosen outfit. Oops! Her mock concern fools no one. Total accident. They leave me standing in soaked clothes, their laughter trailing behind them. When I check the updated program someone left on my desk, my stomach drops. Special surprise act Madison Cluck now appears at the very end. I'm changing into my PE clothes in the bathroom when I glimpse a familiar figure through the auditorium doors. Mom, still in her scrubs, slipping into a back row seat. My heart catches she came straight from her shift. Suddenly, this isn't just about me anymore. The auditorium of Roosevelt High swallows me as I slip through the double doors. Hundreds of bodies fill the rows, their excited chatter bouncing off the walls. Parents clutch program sheets identical to the one I found in Chloe's backpack, the one that listed me as Maddie Cluck. I choose a seat in the back row, close to the exit. No one notices me, they never do. From here I can see everything, the stage with its heavy burgundy curtains, the spotlight beams cutting through floating dust particles, the tech booth where Lane adjusts dials with careful precision. Principal Warner steps onto the stage, tapping the microphone twice. Welcome to Roosevelt High's annual talent show. His voice booms through the speakers. Parents straighten in their seats. Students quiet their whispers. The first performer, a sophomore boy, juggles basketballs while reciting Shakespeare. A girl from my math class plays violin. 3 football players perform a surprisingly graceful dance routine. Each act receives enthusiastic applause, each performer bowing with confidence I can't imagine possessing. Through a gap in the curtain, I spot Chloe and her friends backstage. Their matching teal outfits sparkle under the stage lights as they stretch and primp. Chloe adjusts her headband, her face set in fierce concentration. For all her cruelty at home, she's always been talented. Dance lessons since age 4, voice lessons since 7. My fingers twist the frayed edge of my sweater sleeve. Under my chair sits my small backpack containing the white dress Mom bought me last Christmas. I've never worn it. Too simple, Chloe had said. Too plain. The applause crescendos as the 9th act finishes. Then the announcer's voice. And now, the Roosevelt High dance team, led by Chloe Carter. The audience erupts. Chloe and 5 other girls strut onto the stage, striking dramatic poses. The music begins something popular with a heavy beat that vibrates through the floor. Their routine is flawless, all synchronized movements and impressive flexibility. Chloe executes a perfect aerial cartwheel, landing in a split that makes the crowd gasp. Mom sits 4 rows from the front, still in her scrubs from work. Her exhaustion is visible even from here, but she claps enthusiastically for Chloe. I shrink further into my seat. When the dance ends, Chloe blows kisses to the crowd. The applause is deafening. Before our next act, we have a special video presentation, announces Mrs. Dorsey, the drama teacher. The lights dim. My stomach drops. The projector screen lowers. A crudely animated chicken appears, wearing what's unmistakably my green sweater. My face, photoshopped onto the bird's body, looks distorted and awkward. The chicken begins to dance, flapping its wings while text appears. Coming soon, Maddie Cluck's solo performance. Laughter ripples through the audience. Someone whistles. I glance at Mom, whose smile has faltered into confusion. My heart hammers against my ribs. The exit door seems miles away. Running would only draw more attention. I sit perfectly still, willing myself to disappear as the chicken on screen continues its ridiculous dance. When the video ends, Mrs. Dorsey returns to announce intermission. The audience breaks into smaller conversations, many still chuckling about the chicken animation. Now is my chance. I grab my backpack and slip toward the side door leading backstage. No one stops me, no one notices. The hallway behind the stage is dimly lit and smells of floor wax and makeup. Costume racks line one wall. Props lean against another. Lane catches my eye from the tech booth doorway and gives me a small nod. We've spoken only twice, once when he witnessed Chloe knocking books from my hands in the hallway, and yesterday when he promised to help me tonight. A person of few words, Lane communicates volumes through that simple nod. I duck into the small dressing room at the end of the hall. Inside, I change quickly, pulling the white dress over my head. The cotton fabric feels cool against my skin. I smooth the simple skirt and face the mirror. The girl staring back looks different somehow. Still me, but with something unfamiliar in her eyes. Determination, maybe, or defiance. From my backpack, I retrieve Mom's Sunshine, Pina's small golden sun. She's worn on her nurse's uniform for as long as I can remember. She loaned it to me years ago for a 5th grade presentation. I never returned it and she never asked. I fasten it carefully to my collar, its weight both foreign and comforting. A knock at the door makes me jump. 2 more acts, Lane says through the door, his voice barely audible. I fold my sweater and jeans, placing them neatly in my backpack. My hands tremble, but my mind feels strangely clear. When I step into the hallway, a junior girl I've never spoken to holds the stage door open without a word. I catch a glimpse of her small smile before I move past. From the wings, I watch the final scheduled act, a senior playing electric guitar. The audience claps rhythmically. In the 3rd row, I spot Mom leaning forward in her seat, eyes scanning the stage. Looking for me, I realize, wondering about the chicken video. Miss Tanner, my English teacher, notices me standing there. Recognition flashes across her face. She once commented on my poetry assignment, saying I had an authentic voice. She raises an eyebrow but says nothing, just steps aside to clear my path to the stage. The guitarist finishes with a dramatic chord. The audience applauds. He bows and exits on the opposite side. For 3 heartbeats, the stage stands empty. Principal Warner begins to approach the microphone, program in hand, ready to conclude the evening. I step out of the shadows. The spotlight finds me immediately. Lane's doing. I walk to center stage, my white dress glowing under the harsh light. The audience's confused murmurs rise like waves. I reach for the microphone, but as my fingers touch the metal, it emits a high-pitched screech before going silent. Someone snickers. More laughter follows. I glance toward the tech booth and see Chloe standing beside Lane, her hand on a control panel. Her smug smile tells me everything. She's cut the sound. The laughter grows louder. My moment of humiliation has arrived exactly as Chloe planned. I gently set the useless microphone in its stand and take a deep breath. My fingers touch the microphone. Nothing happens. I tap it once, twice. Dead silence. Chloe's doing, of course. The first wave of laughter ripples through the front rows. Someone whispers loud enough for me to hear, "Where's her chicken costume?" I carefully set the useless microphone down. The metal stand makes a hollow sound against the wooden stage floor. More laughter follows, scattered like falling rain. My heart hammers against my ribs. Mom sits 5 rows back, confusion etched across her tired face. She came straight from work, still wearing her hospital scrubs beneath her old winter coat. I take a deep breath and find the center mark on the floor. The spotlight warms my face as I close my eyes. One moment of absolute stillness. The first notes rise from somewhere deep inside me. "You are my sunshine." My voice fills the auditorium without amplification, pure and clear. The sound surprises even me. I've never sung this loudly before, never allowed myself to be heard like this. The laughter stops. A cough echoes from the back row, then nothing. My only sunshine. From the corner of my eye, I see frantic movement. Chloe stands at the edge of the stage, frantically waving toward the tech booth. Her face contorts with panic. You make me happy when skies are gray. Lane stands firm at the lighting controls. The stage manager tries to push past him, but Lane blocks the panel with his body, keeping the single spotlight trained on me. He nods once, almost imperceptibly. The rest of the lights dim. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. One of Chloe's friends, starts a slow clap from stage right. The attempt fizzles as no one joins in. The girl sinks lower in her seat. The audience shifts. Phones appear, screens glowing in the darkness. But they're not recording to mock me. The faces behind them show something unexpected: attention. Real attention. Please don't take my sunshine away. Mom leans forward in her seat. The stage light catches the wetness on her cheeks. This song, our song from when I was little, when Dad was still home, when Chloe was still my sister instead of my tormentor. My voice grows stronger with each line. The melody flows through me without effort, as natural as breathing. In the back of the auditorium, Principal Walters stands motionless, his usual stern expression softened into something unreadable. I reach into my pocket and pull out the folded talent show program, the one with the cartoon chicken and my misspelled name. I hold it up briefly, making sure everyone can see exactly what it is. Then I tear it in half. The sound cuts through the absolute silence of the room. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping. My voice catches, but I push through. This verse, the one Mom always sang when times were hard. When the electricity bill came due and the account was empty. When Dad's car disappeared from our driveway for the last time. I dreamt I held you in my arms. Chloe's friends shift uncomfortably in their seats, no longer a united front. One girl picks up her purse and moves 3 seats away from my sister. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. I look directly at my mother as I sing the final verse. For the first time in years, she truly sees me, not as the quiet daughter who causes no trouble, but as someone real, someone who matters. So I hung my head and cried. The last note hangs in the air, suspended in the perfect silence that follows. No one moves. No one speaks. The spotlight holds me in place for one final moment before I step back, away from its warmth. I walk off stage without acknowledgement, without waiting for reaction. Behind me, the silence holds for 5 heartbeats. Then a single pair of hands begins clapping, another joins, then another. By the time I reach the hallway, the sound has swelled into something enormous, following me like a wave as I push through the backstage door. I don't look back to see Chloe's face or her friends abandoning her. I don't need to. In the empty corridor, I press my back against the cool concrete wall and slide down until I'm sitting on the floor. The distant thunder of applause continues, muffled by the heavy door between us. Lane appears in the doorway, silhouetted against the stage lights. He gives me a quiet thumbs up before disappearing back into the chaos. For the first time in years, my voice belongs to me again. 15 minutes later, the hallway stretches before me, empty and cool compared to the packed auditorium I just escaped. My footsteps echo against the lockers. Behind me, through the heavy doors, applause thunders like summer rain on our tin roof. I press my back against the wall and slide down until I'm sitting on the floor, knees pulled to my chest. My hands won't stop trembling. Did I really just do that? Stand alone on stage and sing without a microphone? The memory already feels like something that happened to someone else. The door to the auditorium swings open. Mom stands there, her eyes red-rimmed, searching until they land on me. She doesn't speak, doesn't need to. She crosses the space between us in 4 quick steps and lowers herself beside me on the floor, nurse's uniform crinkling as she sits. Her arms wrap around me, warm and solid. She smells like home laundry detergent and the vanilla lotion she keeps by the sink. We breathe together in silence. Madison. Principal Harlow appears in the doorway, spectacles slipping down his nose. The audience is asking for an encore. Before I can answer, the door bursts open again. Chloe storms through, her face blotchy with anger or embarrassment, maybe both. Her friends are noticeably absent. It was just a joke, she says, voice pitched high. You didn't have to make such a big deal about it. I look at her, really look at her maybe for the first time. My sister stands before me, shoulders rigid, mascara smudged at the corners of her eyes. She seems smaller somehow. I know exactly what it was, I say. My voice comes out steady, surprising me with its clarity. No wobble, no whisper. Chloe opens her mouth, closes it again. Her hands flutter at her sides like trapped birds. The confidence that usually radiates from her has vanished, leaving behind someone I barely recognize. Something shifts between us, a balance tipping. Principal Harlow clears his throat. Madison, they're waiting. Would you consider performing once more? Mom squeezes my hand but stays quiet. This is my choice. No thank you, I say. Once was enough. I turn to Mom, whose eyebrows lift slightly in surprise. Chloe entered my name in the talent show without telling me. She listed me as Maddie Cluck performing the chicken dance. Mom's sharp intake of breath cuts through the hallway. It's been happening for months, I continue, the words flowing now, unstoppable. The chicken pictures on phones, notes in my locker, posts online. Mom's arm tightens around my shoulders. Chloe, is this true? Chloe stares at the floor. Her silence is answer enough. I stand up, brushing off my dress. I'm ready to go home now. Principal Harlow steps forward. Madison, I had no idea. This kind of behavior. We don't tolerate bullying at Roosevelt. I know, I say simply. I could push harder, demand punishment, watch Chloe squirm. But the thought exhausts me. What matters is that I sang my song. I found my voice when it mattered most. As we move toward the exit, a group of students spills into the hallway. They stop when they see me. That was amazing, says a girl I recognize from math class but have never spoken to. Your voice is beautiful. Others nod, murmuring agreement. A boy steps forward, phone in hand. People are sharing the video already. Hope that's okay. My cheeks warm. I manage a small thank you as we pass. Mr. Winters, my English teacher, stands near the doorway. Madison, he says quietly. I wish I'd known what was happening. I'm sorry I didn't see it. The weight of his words settles on me. All these months of feeling invisible, and now everyone sees me at once. It's overwhelming, but not entirely unpleasant. Mom drives us home in silence. Chloe sits in the back seat, her reflection in the side mirror showing her staring out the window, jaw set. Morning comes with strange new light. My phone pings with a message from Chloe. You deserved it. I read it twice. Save it without responding. Let it sit there as proof of something I no longer need to prove. At school, the hallways part differently around me. Not dramatically, I haven't become suddenly popular overnight, but the quality of attention has changed. 2 of Chloe's friends approach me at lunch. We didn't know how far it would go, Amber says, not quite meeting my eyes. We're sorry. I nod, accepting without promising forgiveness. That might come later, or it might not. Later, I spot Chloe watching me from across the cafeteria. For a moment, our eyes lock. I don't look away first. When I walk to my next class, my shoulders stay back, my chin lifted. My footsteps echo with purpose against the linoleum floor. The notebook in my backpack contains 3 new songs I wrote last night, each one a little louder than the last. My voice may not be the loudest in the room, but now, everyone knows it's there. A week later, I find a folded square of notebook paper tucked into the vent of my locker on Tuesday morning. No name, just careful handwriting in blue ink. Thank you for speaking up for the rest of us. My fingers trace the words. A week has passed since the talent show. 7 days since I stood alone on that stage and sang through the silence after my microphone mysteriously failed. 7 days of hallways, that part when I walk through them, of whispers that sound like admiration instead of mockery. I tuck the note into my pocket, feeling its weight like a talisman. Mrs. Blackwood catches me after English. The choir could use a voice like yours, Madison. Her eyes crinkle at the corners. No audition necessary. That afternoon, I slip into the music room. 20 students arrange themselves in neat rows on the risers. I recognize some faces from classes but know none of their names. They turn when I enter, and I wait for the familiar tightening in my chest. It doesn't come. Second row, third from left, Mrs. Blackwood points, and I find my place among the altos. During warm-ups, I sing softly at first, but when we begin our first piece in arrangement of Bridge Over Troubled Water, I let my voice blend with the others, not hidden, not showcased. Just present. At home that evening, Mom sits across from me at the kitchen table. She's in her scrubs, coffee mug warming her hands before her shift, her face open in a way I haven't seen in months. "I should have noticed what was happening between you and your sister," she says. I shrug. "You work 80 hours a week, Mom." That's not an excuse. She reaches across, her fingers cool against mine. "I saw you at the talent show. Really saw you. Maybe for the first time since your father left." I swallow hard. "I called Dad yesterday." Her eyebrows rise. "And?" "Got his voicemail. I told him I was singing again." I straighten my shoulders. "Told him he should come hear me sometime, but I wasn't waiting around for it anymore." Mom's eyes shine. She squeezes my hand once before letting go. Later, I pull out the journal Lane gave me after the talent show. Unlike my old notebook, this one sits on my desk in plain sight. Its cover reads, "Quiet Voices" in silver lettering. Inside, I've written 3 new songs this week. "What are you doing?" Chloe stands in our bedroom doorway. Her tone lacks its usual edge. "Writing," I answer, not looking up. She hovers, then drops onto her bed. The silence stretches between us, not comfortable but not hostile either. "Everyone at school is talking about your performance," she finally says, picking at a thread on her comforter. I wait, pencil poised above my journal. "That wasn't supposed to happen," she adds. "I know." Another long pause. Then, "Mom's making lasagna on Friday, said we should all eat together for once." It's not an apology, not even close, but it's something in acknowledgement that our orbits still intersect, that perhaps they should. "Okay," I say, and return to my writing. On Saturday, Lane helps me set up at the community center's open mic night. Unlike the school auditorium with its harsh lighting and echoing space, this room feels intimate, mismatched chairs, strings of white lights draped across the ceiling, a small wooden stage hardly 6 inches off the ground. "You sure about this?" Lane asks, adjusting the microphone stand to my height. I nod. In the front row, Mom sits in her good blouse, the one she saves for parent-teacher conferences. She's switched shifts with Denise to be here. Her eyes catch mine, and she gives me a thumbs up that reminds me so much of Dad that my heart squeezes. The room fills with people, some from school, others from around town. Lane positions his phone on a small tripod, ready to record. "This is different," I tell him. "This is my choice." When my name is called, I walk to the microphone without hesitation. The first notes from my guitar feel like old friends visiting. When I sing, my voice carries clearly to every corner of the room. 3 days later, I start a lunchtime music group. 5 students show up the first day, all quiet kids who normally eat alone. By the second week, we're 11. Some songs are meant to be sung softly. I tell them as we gather in the empty music room, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't be heard. That evening, I sit on our front porch steps watching the sunset paint the mountains gold. Mom pushes the screen door open, balancing 2 mugs of tea. From inside, I can hear my voice playing from Lane's recording, clear, steady, unafraid. Mom settles beside me, our shoulders touching. "Your song's gotten 300 views already." I smile, sipping my tea. Not bad for a quiet voice.